Welcome back. Well, the Delicious Magazine Produce Awards were held this week in Brisbane, and our co-host, James Manning, editor and publisher of Mediaweek, was there. James, interesting event and some great shots there of you and Matt Preston, you know, enjoying the fine food as you do. Just wanted to ask you, why this is such an important event for magazines, these kinds of events.
More importantly, media, we've talked about it, you connect with your audiences on as many levels as possible, I guess, and having events is another good one. I mean, there wasn't a lot of delicious audience there, but it keeps them connected very much to the sector they're in, the food business, you know, the suppliers. Produce is very crucial at the moment. The week of MasterChef in Italy was all about, you know, natural produce. So it's a big deal, and it really links the magazine into that.
Now, of course, you spoke to Matt Preston, who's a man of many talents.
Sure. Writes
for the News Limited papers.
He does, yep, the magazines. He's on the TV, of course. So yeah,
with MasterChef,
multi-level, absolutely.
Yeah, and interesting. You asked him, guess firstly, what the awards were all about.
Well, I think what it is these are people that don't really get the recognition. It's hard for them to get into major national publications, and these awards seek to search out those guys who spend, you know, 12 hours a day in icy cold water picking out oysters for us, or, you know, with their hands deep in mud, you know, tilling the soil. I mean, this is the essence of what good food in Australia is all about, and so it's great to be able to do two things. One to recognise not just the winners but also the medalists, but also to bring them all to one place where they can meet, they can network, and they can kind of celebrate the fact that what they're doing actually has some value and some worth.
We've just seen a week of MasterChef in Italy where the local produce was almost sort of key, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
An amazing week. It did fantastic business in the ratings, but there must have been quite a job getting all that produce together there.
Oh, we have an amazing team, and I mean, I think those overseas trips, and I think of New York last year was amazing. The access we've got, what we do in Australia is pretty unique in terms of food television. It's not dumbed down, that it's not about performance-driven chefs. It's about quality of produce, and it's about celebrating. You know, it's about celebrating the farmers of northwest Tasmania, as we did in that Tasmanian trip. I mean, that was, I think, in terms of chills down the spine. George and I, when we watched those tractors rolling down the main street in Stanley, it was like, oh my, have a look at these carrots.
Now, you've been with Fremantle Media, made the show under a couple of different managements so far. First year with Shine, sort of back with the original production people. Yeah. How's that been going?
Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, I think it took a bit of time, because I mean, the thing to remember about MasterChef is the kind of the people who really make the show, the sound guys, the camera guys, the director. These are all the guys who've been working with some of them for up to 4 years since Series 1. So that hasn't changed. But it's great to have a new group of people come in and look at the show and say, what can we do differently? Well, this year was all about back to basics, and I think we've stripped back and we've got back to baking bread and making butter, and I think that's resonated well. And I think that the tricky thing with the show has always been to refresh it, but without destroying it, to keep it true to what it is. The show is always about food. It's not about personality. I think there was given the success of MKR this year, there was a real temptation, I think, if it had been a weaker production company, to go slavishly down that route, and we didn't. And I think it's in terms of longevity of the show, it's important to stay true to what it's about.
We're getting near the end of this series, but going into MasterChef All-Stars, you're taking on the Olympic Games. Probably your biggest challenge yet?
Different time zone, Olympics. I mean, who are you going to watch? Who are you going to watch? Name me 3 people you think are going to win a gold medal in the Olympic Games right now.
Usain Bolt.
Yeah, no, but we're Australians. We love Australians winning. Yeah. You know, I think that's the problem. We're not in a situation whereby we were. You know, there's no. I want to see Kathy run the 400. I mean, James Mason obviously has got a great chance. There are some people, but it's not like it was 4 years ago, 8 years ago, where there was a plethora of people that you wanted to follow through. And I think that, look, everyone's always going to watch the Olympic Games. I think it's important to have something that is radically different and has a sense of fun. And you know, we know that a lot of people now are going to be watching the Olympic Games on iPad, on their phones, you know, downloading stuff from websites, watching it on the breakfast shows. So the question is going to be, you know, will we be a point? Do we actually want to watch that highlights package 8 hours after it's happened? I mean, I think that there's a question whether there'll be a big market. I think we're not, I don't think anyone's predicting that MasterChef All Stars will do massive, massive numbers, but it's great to have something that's a bit of fun, a bit fresh, a bit different, to give people an alternative to watching, you know, the wonderful Eddie McGuire, who I love, and I'll obviously be watching Eddie when he's doing his stuff from 9. But it's nice to have another alternative. So, you know, and especially now that we look at ratings from the point of view of time shifting, it's going to be very, very interesting to see exactly how that works.
Yeah, and James, of course, you also spoke to Trudy Jenkins at the event.
Yeah, editor-in-chief of both Delicious and the MasterChef magazine. I asked her if these day-to-day awards take her away from her regular job putting the magazine out.
Well, yeah, I suppose to an extent we do a lot of things around the country. Part of that's, you know, by dint of being associated with the ABC, it's really important for us to get around the country. We do our Delicious Does dinners every month. We've started doing Delicious Weekends, so yeah, we certainly get around and about a lot. But I think our audience really appreciates that, and certainly we've got an event here in Brisbane next week, and we've been doing events for 10 years, and this event sold out in 12 minutes, so they're hugely popular.
Trudy, we've spoken to you before on the show about specialist magazines have been sort of buffeted a little bit from the sort of turmoil, if you like, in the media market. It's a pretty tough year this year. Are they sort of feeling the pinch a little bit?
Look, I just think now more than ever with the migration to digital, it's more important than it's ever been to have a really strong product, have that really strong engagement with your readers. It's just, you know, I think only the strong will survive. And luckily, Delicious is still the biggest selling premium food and travel magazine in Australia, and half our circulation is subscribers, so we're in a really strong position.
And what's Delicious magazine doing digitally? I mean, are you into the iPad space yet, the tablet readers?
We have a replica version currently on Zinio, and we're going to launch an iPad edition with our December-January issue, and of course we're a big part of Taste, so all the Delicious recipes go on to Taste as well.
Okay. Now, you also look after MasterChef magazine. Now, I saw something special this week. Sunday night program, somebody cooked I think it was a chocolate tart, and there you go, the next morning it's on the cover of the magazine.
Yeah,
Did that go according to plan?
That went absolutely according to plan. it took us a long time to get that challenge up, and fortunately, I know the TV, the producers were really happy with it, but it was a bit down to the wire because there weren't too many dishes to choose from on the challenge, and there was a crumble that was good, but we had a crumble on the front of Delicious, so we knew we didn't want that. There was a tart tatin, and another food magazine had a tart tatin, so thank God the chocolate tart came through, because otherwise we would have been a bit stuck.
So you've told us before, I think chocolate was a bit of a trigger, if you like, for magazines. They like to have chocolate on the cover, so it was a bit of a no-brainer, I guess.
Yeah, and look, it's good because it's not Easter, so everyone does chocolate at Easter, and we're doing it in August on MasterChef, so, you know, at least that's a point.
Now, you're going to be all over the MasterChef All Stars as well. Can we see some of that in the magazine soon?
Yep, and on the cover of the issue that ties in with the end of that series, there will be the 2 finalists from the Masters series with the winner of season 4.
All right, time now to turn to some other news, obviously, from the publishing industry. And we've been talking a lot about the threat of more media regulation. From Labor, particularly also the Greens. Interesting to hear Kim Williams' comments, the News Limited CEO, speaking in the past week, very stern against this, and even threatening to take it all the way to the High Court.
Yeah, he's very bullish, isn't he? A lot of support from most media companies, or virtually all of them, but different levels. I guess Nine saying, yeah, look, we're right behind you. We probably couldn't see ourselves going to court over this, because I think probably partly because they don't think it'll get that far, I guess. News
too in the past week of a big deal, potentially there with the Japanese media company Dentsu making a big bid for the Aegis media company, UK-based, but obviously also bought Harold Mitchell's Mitchell Communications. And yeah, big payday for Harold Mitchell. About $200 million is his shares in that company going to be worth. He sort of doubled his money, really. I think he had the chance to sell out when he first went in with Aegis, but decided to take equity instead. So he's hung on to that, and it's done very well for him. Business continues as usual. Him and his son, Stuart, will continue to be the sort of 2 pivotal leaders of the business. Also news of an appointment. Melissa Hoyer has got a new job. She's returning to News Limited. Yeah, Melissa Hoyer giving up a part of a day job at Mediaweek. Yes! Going to news.com.au, editor-at-large, so it's a great get for her, and she'll be reporting on the website.
shooting video, going to nights out, openings, the sort of stuff she does best.
Just some sad news too in the past week as well of two notable people in the industry passing away.
Yeah, Globecast chief Mike Latten, he's been leading that business for about a year. He's a real pioneer in the TV sector. He's been unwell for a while. He went way too young, just aged 62. And Dennis Warner, a journalist, long-time journalist with a lot of different people, a foreign correspondent, war correspondent. He covered everything from World War II through to the Vietnam War. That byline was, I read a lot of his stuff growing up reading the papers. So yeah, he passed away too.
Just quickly to end on revenues, a positive story. Revenues growing at BBC Worldwide Australasia too.
Yeah, up about 9%. They're in a lot of businesses, BBC. You think of them primarily perhaps as selling their, the iconic UK programs to various networks in Australia. But look, they also run channels here. They're still in magazines, JV with ACP, despite them selling out of magazines in the UK, online, and they launched the iPlayer here too.
James, great to talk as always. Thank you so much.
Bridie.
James Manning there from Mediaweek. That's all we've got time for. Thanks for your company.